Hey, Andrew Malcolm here from MortgageHQ and WealthHQ. Today I want to show you how I stay motivated year-round, every day. I don't have to wake up and motivate and inspire myself to take action. What I do is I simplify and I automate my motivations so that I can stay focused and achieve the goals I want to achieve. So today I'll show you my Winner's Bible. So what is a Winner's Bible? You can look it up. Winner's Bible, you'll find the book online and you'll find templates online, and we'll link to it below. It's written by a psychologist, sports psychologist that helps F1 drivers, has helped the All Blacks, and basically it helps sports athletes and people that want to compete at a high level to understand themselves better and to achieve peak performance and flow state in a fashion that they can trigger and repeat and flow state is something that on its own doesn't happen very often. And if you can help get yourself into flow state more often, potentially every day, that you will put yourself at a huge advantage against other people, and you've got more chance at reaching a level closer to your potential. So Winner's Bible is a folder, and first page, I look at this every day with my morning coffee. I've got my goals for the year, and I read through selected goals. Helps remind me how I want to spend my time. For example, one of the goals I have for WealthHQ, MortgageHQ, is to acquire more books of business. We've been buying other advisors' business that are retiring out of the industry, and that's something that if I'm to achieve that goal, it's not going to just happen without regular effort. I've got to reach out to advisors, I've got to set those meetings, and if I'm not thinking about this goal often, it's unlikely I'll take action at a regular enough pace that I'll achieve that goal. I also have my property and business goals that are more at a high level. I got some family goals here. Read through these every day. These are the super important things that if I achieve what's on this list for the year and not worry about anything else, I know that I'm going to be really happy. And this is something that I can show my colleagues, my business partners, and they can start thinking about my goals and we can be on the same page. I've got a mindset here, and I've got my 5-year goal. Helps trigger to keep that in my brain every day. Now, this is the beginning of the Winner's Bible. First page is around an imagery that you're thinking about what your identity is and how you're making yourself both proud and to put yourself in a position where you're thinking yourself of being up here so that you're not acting in a way that is down here. So I got myself at the work event wearing a suit. I've got my kids. I identify myself as a businessman and a father. Next section is photos of my family and friends. Now this is to really trigger that I'm not just working hard and building wealth and trying to achieve things in business for myself. I'm trying to make my friends and family proud of me. I'm trying to inspire them through my own actions. And I'm thinking that I want to get to a level at a certain age where I can spend a lot more time with them and have time freedom because I've created financial freedom. Now, next section is about the things that I want from life. Like, I'm not really a person that focuses much on objects, but I do want to have a nice family home. I do want to have investment properties. My family's always been a boating family. I would like the option to be able to afford the boat that I want to buy. I'd like to have a home gym. I'd like to have a home library. I read a lot of books. I'd like to have a designated area with a nice reading room. These types of things help keep me focused on what I think is important, so I'm not distracted by things that I don't really need. My business goals over the longer time frame are in here. I'd like to get our businesses to 5,000 clients and be the most trusted financial advisory firm in our space. And I'd like to acquire lots of businesses to build a form of conglomerate so that I can help get our clients, friends and family high returns on their capital, give them a place to invest their money. Personal development goals, I've got photos that for me very quickly trigger memories and beliefs. I've got a picture of some family that's got a big family that I like to keep growing our family. I've got Richard Branson, like to stay a trusted businessman. I've got Mark Sisson, he's a very respected coach in the fitness space and he's in great shape at an older age. Chuck Feeney, you can look him up, founder of DFS Galleria, gave away lots and lots of money anonymously. Now I've got In the next section, photos of heroes and mentors. I think it's quite important to not get lost in the fact that it's hard to find mentors to help you on a regular basis. You can actually access and be mentored by many people like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Jocko Willink. You can access their books, their quotes, their videos, and essentially hold their philosophies in your mind through learning and reading about them. And you can think, okay, my heroes are these people, what would they do in these situations? I've got some local businessmen in there. Now, this is a really key section, and it's great to think about it deeply and share it with the people that you work with. Strengths, weaknesses, and even opportunities and threats. Do a SWOT analysis on yourself, and if you need to, ask other people. Now, I've got strengths: keeping my body and diet on track, writing copy, listening to prospects and helping them understand goals. Some of my weaknesses: detail heavy work, communicating my appreciation. When I'm thinking about my strengths and weaknesses, it keeps me focused on work that I'm good at, and it helps me understand the areas I need to think about more often. And for example, communicating my appreciation, I have to schedule my thanks and gratitude and writing thank you notes, and if I don't, then I probably won't get to it. Understanding my mistakes, I've reflected, and I try to reflect often on the mistakes I've made, document them, and trying to avoid repeating them too often. Next section is about my beliefs. Now, I've got philosophies, and the key thing here is that I know it's going to take a really great team to achieve the goals I've got. If I take the All Blacks as a starting point, I know that they've got philosophies, they've got frameworks, they've got training, they've got coaching, they've got game day preparation, and these are the types of things I try to implement with my team, and especially my key team members that I know are going to be on that journey for a long time. I've got that team philosophy. I know I can't achieve these on my own. Now, these are poems and quotes that are important to me that help frame my mind in a way where I'm thinking logically, rationally, trying to reduce the emotion of my decision making. This is a poem by Rudyard Kipling about risk taking and about loss in life and pushing through. And The Man in the Glass is about being able to look at yourself in the mirror and being proud of what you've done. And that brings me to my overarching philosophy of basically anything I do could be published on the front page of the Herald, and I wouldn't be embarrassed by it, say or do, or any way that I act. So you can look up those poems. It's called If, and this one's The Man in the Glass. They mean a lot to me because I've studied them and I've thought about them. Now, this is Affirmations, and I think these can be really powerful, especially on days where you might not be finding your groove. For example, one of the affirmations: I always think and act today. I feel heroic, confident, and exhilarated knowing my actions today will create momentum tomorrow, and the next day I feel unstoppable. Now, these affirmations, it's very easy to find affirmations online. You can write your own and craft them in a way that's going to inspire you. I've written about my optimal future. I've thought into the 5 and 10 year period of where I want to get to, and that my fundamental philosophy is about protecting my reputation and relationships because they're worth more than all the money in the world. I can start again from zero as long as I have my relationships and reputation. I think about that often. My philosophies, for example, Jocko Willink, he's got a philosophy of good. So when things happen that are not so good or bad, to think, okay, how is this good? How can I make the most of this? And I've got quotes about being the man in the arena, about selling, because if we don't sell, then we don't have a business, and about setting standards. And importantly, I've got my principles and my intrinsic drivers. I've got my partner here. I want to make her proud. I want to make her happy. And I know that to achieve close to my potential in life, I need to think about enjoying the journey and pushing through on a daily basis, especially if I want to make myself proud towards the end. So look up the Winner's Bible. It's something that I encourage for the team members in my businesses. It is a commitment to build it, but I feel like it's one of those hacks that you put in the work in the beginning. You look at it on a daily basis for 5 minutes or less, and it's going to provide like this massive advantage of yourself and others because it kind of like hacks your way to like constant motivation. Any questions? Let me know and hit subscribe.
My favorite thing about the workshop is how simple it is. So language is really easy to understand, so anyone like with no property knowledge can understand what's going on.